and welcome back to the Stretch Cafe by Healthy Headspaces. I'm Peggy Boyer, and right now you might have seen that my YouTube channel has changed names to Healthy Headspaces. I'm still going to be doing these videos on Tuesdays and send them to your office. So most of these videos are still going to be geared towards one you could do behind your desk, but today happens to be one that is a save for later video. So you're going to want a mat and be able to have some space on the floor to lie down. So let's get to it. We're going to go ahead, lie down on our back. So grab your knees or behind your knees and slowly roll yourself down little by little with your spine so you don't jar it. And then let's relax our feet, straighten out our knees. Okay, so with this first stretch we want to do, I want both toes pointed up. So you're flexing your feet back, and then go ahead from here, keep your right leg on the ground, and then bring your left leg towards you. And we're just gonna wrap our hands around our knee and bring our knees into our chest, keeping our toes nice and flexed. And then from here, we're going to bring our knee to our armpit. So it brings it offside, and you might be able to bring your knee up a little bit closer to you. It's just better stretch to do this way, rather than being just right in the middle. It kind of feels pinchy. So you bring your knee off to your armpit, and then from here, it's ideal to hold for 30 seconds. Remember all these stretches, we want to hold for a bit. So we're gonna just hold these for about 10 seconds, but ideally 30 for you. Okay, take another deep, big breath here, and release. And now we're gonna bring this knee to the opposite shoulder. So it's not just pulling to the side, we're also gonna be pulling up. And you should really feel, once you bring the knee towards the other armpit, you should really feel the stretch across your glutes. Feels so good. Okay, and the reason why we want to do 30 seconds is because your body relaxes into this position. It relaxes your muscles. You get some deep belly breaths in, which is also relaxing. So wonderful. And it's easy on the spine too. All right, we always want to relax that spine anytime we can, right? All right, release to the middle and then release that leg down, straighten it. And let's bring our other knee up, wrap our hands around and just give it a nice big pull to the chest. Remember, both feet flexing back. And now bring the knee off to the side towards the armpit. And we're gonna relax into this. Feels really good for me. I hope it's feeling good for you too. Okay. These are so great to do, especially when you're first getting up out of bed or before you go to bed, because it wakes your body up in a nice, subtle manner. We all want that, right? Okay, let's bring the knee back to center and then bring it off to the opposite armpit. Remember, keep the toes flexed back. We're not just hanging out, flexing, we're pulling, we're active here. Our arms are active here too. Feels so good. Can you feel that stretch across your glutes? Yes, you should. If you're not, bring it, that diagonal swoop motion up. So we're not just pulling over, we're pulling up and over. Feels good. All right, let's go ahead, relax here. And we're gonna bring both knees up and then both feet up. So here, if you want to use your peace fingers around your big toes, go ahead. Or if you feel more comfortable grabbing just behind your knees, at your thighs, or at your calves, wherever you feel comfortable grabbing. And we're just going to hold up here and flop your knees down to the side. It's just a bend in the knees and let them flop and let it just hang. This is happy baby for yoga. And it feels delicious, almost like a relief of the muscles along your spine. So we're just going to hold this one, ideally, of course, 30 seconds, but we're going to do 10 seconds here with just a couple of nice deep belly breaths, breathing in and exhale. And while you're holding this pose, if you want, you can rock side to side. So it would look like your knees are going to touch the ground here, and then you bring them up. And I'm not going to rock side to side because this isn't my first take of this video. Last time I rocked side to side and that video was not very nice. So we don't want that image in your brain. So I'm just going to hold my pose here, but feel free to give your spine a little massage by rocking back and forth. And then also in this pose, if you want, if you're feeling comfortable, you can start straightening one leg at a time and just kind of get a little stretch down into your hamstrings. Or feel free to straighten both legs and just kind of let them hang. Just let gravity take hold. And when you do this, and remember, we're still flexing our toes. So our feet are actively stretching. And when you do this, your toes are in alignment with your knees, so it's not going to pop your knee out. If your knee feels like there's stress on it and you're flexing your feet, go ahead, give a little bend. But this is a great way to stretch your hamstrings and your inner thighs just in one movement here, just by letting gravity take hold. Don't feel like I'm doing anything too much. All right, so let's bring our feet together, bring our feet down to the floor. And from here, I just want us to, keeping our feet together, we're gonna let our knees open to the side, and we're just gonna go in butterfly pose. So this is gonna look like your feet are on their sides, on the edges, and the soles are together. Standard butterfly pose, but have you ever done it when you're laying down? And just let your belly breathe in and out. Nice deep belly breaths, it feels so good. In fact, put your hands on your belly and just feel the rise and fall of your tummy. Feels good. This is a pose that you could do right before bedtime because it is so relaxing on your spine, and it's meant to calm the body down. It's meant to calm the nervous system down when you do it in this laying down position. All right, so if you're finding this a little bit uncomfortable, you might have your feet very close to your booty, go ahead and let it come out a little bit more further away from you. And it changes the dynamic of that stretch as well. So you might feel it a little bit more by your hip flexors. It's a good pull. At any rate, your knees are letting gravity pull down, and that's the weight that is stretching this area. All right, we'll do a couple more breaths here, and then we're going to do our last and final pose. So just deep belly breath in and out. One more breath in and out. Okay, let's use our hands to bring our knees back up. Bring our feet closer in. We want them flat to the floor. And go ahead and brace your hands just a little bit at the side here, palms down. And we're going to do something I call the windshield wiper. It's just because it's the image it creates. We're just going to bring our knees from one side to the next, just like a windshield wiper. For me, the butterfly pose is so relaxing and my body just kind of sinks into it that I need to do something to wake it back up. So I always go to windshield wipers, and then it lets my body know that I'm going to sit up and I'm going to move again. Okay, a couple more times on each side just because it feels so delicious. Wow. I hope you find these feeling delicious as well. And when you do these lay down poses, you don't necessarily have to pop back up for work, which is why I like to do some videos that are saved for later, just because you want to make sure you carve out that time for yourself. It's super important to just get into your body and just forget about everything else. Okay, we've done enough of these. So go ahead, bring your knees into your chest, grab hold of them, and then rock yourself up nice and gently. And that is it for these Save for Later stretches. I hope you're enjoying them. And go ahead, check out, if you haven't, some of the other tips that I've been putting out in other forms of videos. I've got some for coaching tips and fitting and fitness tips, as well as some foodie tips. And by that, I mean some healthy food choices, how to, if you have a sweet tooth, how to incorporate other kinds of foods that you might not think of that are nice and sweet, but aren't the sugar spiking types of sugar. Okay, I hope you check them out. Please do subscribe to this channel if you haven't, so you can get all these tips, and I hope you enjoy them. Thank you so much for joining me today at the Stretch Cafe from Healthy Headspaces.